who's and what's and whys and wherefores. Here you'll find your what-nots and therefores. So come on along, let's find out what's going on. Where's and when's and who's and what's it's. No matter what your taste, you can trust it's the place where you can find all your new Disney news. Where's and when's and who's and what's it's. No matter what you taste, you can trust it's the place where you can find all your new Disney news.
Welcome to the current events as of November 11th, 2022.
Hey, all right. I'm happy to be here. This is great.
I'm glad
we are the Sweep Spot.
We are.
We are two former Disneyland custodial cast members talking about the past, present, and future of Disneyland. So, yeah, with an episode every week.
That's right. And we're also
alternating current events, right?
Yeah. We're also authors of 2 books, Queening the Kingdom. You can get both of those on our website, autographed, and the audiobooks you can get on our website. They come in a USB case, signed by both of us. And we're doing, a thing where you can get both for a certain deal, and shipping's included. So go over and check those out. They make great gifts, and they're going fast. This is a limited time thing, so make sure you go over and do that.
Yeah, and all these stories we're talking about, you'll be able to see them in the current events show notes at thesweepspot.com, so that if you want to read the full story, click through, and all of that, then you'll be able to do that. But we do have our Patreon supporters joining us this time. We do that once a month, so that's one of the benefits of being a Patreon supporter of this podcast. So they're going to be in our chat room making comments, and we will include those in the discussion here. Shall we get to it?
I think we should, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get the unpleasant news out of the way first. Disney legend Alice Davis has passed away at age 93. As LaughingPlace.com reports, we are heartbroken to report that Disney legend Alice Estes Davis has passed away at the age of 93. She was best known for creating costumes for audio animatronic figures at Disney parks around the world, most notably for It's a Small World and Pirates of the Caribbean. The news of Alice's passing was first shared in a LinkedIn post by art director, show designer, and author, and Sweep Spot guest, Chris Merritt. So Christopher Merritt broke the sad news, and Chris has long been, I don't know the right word for it, but he literally co-authored the book on Mark Davis, and there was nobody better to do that than Chris Merritt. He's long been a protege of the Davises. So,
and a friend, yeah.
And as the story continues, in 1963, Alice Davis was hand-selected by Walt Disney to work with Disney legend Mary Blair, who was designing an attraction for the 1964 New York World's Fair. The project required more than 150 costumes representing countries all over the world. Thanks in large part to Alice's iconic designs, It's a Small World became such an instant classic that it was moved to Disneyland and dedicated at Walt Disney World, Tokyo Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, and Hong Kong Disneyland. Alice's hands also touched costumes worn by the characters in General Electric's Carousel of Progress. And here's a quote from Alice. "I went from sweet little children to dirty old men overnight." She famously joked about another big project for Disneyland, Pirates of the Caribbean. With Mark Davis designing many of the character gags, it was fitting that Alice was the one creating costumes. I'm wondering if any of our Patreon supporters were able to ever meet her. I was at more than one occasion. I sat next to her at a wedding. Alice and Mark retired in 1978, but remained involved as consultants for Disney throughout the decades and continued to support CalArts, which is what became of the Chouinard Art Institute, where she had gone to school. Alice Davis was a frequent presence at Disney fan events throughout the years. Her warm and jovial spirit instantly made her a fan favorite, and she had always made time for fans. While Mark Davis passed away in 2000, she joined him as a Disney legend in 2004. Alice also received a window adjacent to her late husband on Main Street, USA at Disneyland in 2012. It reads, Small World Costume Company, Alice Davis, seamstress to the stars. Quite the woman, and she and Mark were very supportive of young artists and just delightful people.
For sure. Yeah.
That's very sad to get the news of her passing. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't.
Yes. So, anytime you get to meet one of these people that worked with Walt Disney and, cherish those meetings, listen to what they have to say and learn from them. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Anyone making any comments about that in the chat room, Lynn?
Yvonne was saying that the Mousetalgia podcast had posted an old interview they did with her just this week.
Oh,
it was a good interview. I remember that. Yeah. Christine said she wished she could have met them both. Rest in peace, Alice.
Well, on an upbeat note, the late breaking news, as Dusty Sage reports at MiceChat.com, Disneyland's new Adventureland Treehouse revealed. So, as he says here, we have some exciting news for you. We've been able to confirm with Disney that the Treehouse will be returning in 2023 with a familiar look, but a whole new story. Legendary Imagineer Kim Irvine and her team have created a narrative inspired by the original Swiss Family Robinson, but with a whole new family living high above Adventureland. This is a new family and a new story. What we know so far is that each family member has their own space in or around the tree. The tree will host a nature room, an astronomer's loft, and a music den, among other scenes. The story goes that the family fashioned their dwelling from found items, but it sure does look a lot like the original treehouse in many respects. It also appears that a lot of attention has been focused on the area at the base of the tree to provide a better experience for disabled guests or anyone not feeling up to the climb. The expanded ground level of the residence will feature a kitchen filled with cleverly constructed gadgets, a dining room, and Father's Art Studio, which will contain sketches of the rooms above. There are a couple of other things we are keeping an eye on with this project. There is apparently a Swiss Family Robinson remake coming to Disney Plus. It was announced in 2020, but no updates have followed. It would be interesting to see if that gets incorporated into the treehouse at any point in the future. Also, we suspect that there will be Easter eggs and tie-ins to the Jungle Cruise narrative and Society of Explorers and Adventurers. In fact, there are already hints of this in the new concept art. So, all the speculation that we've had when you've been updating us on what's been closed and what's been reopened, and the treehouse was always a question, and people were wondering if it was going to be Encanto. And now we have an answer that it's going to be this. And I noticed that it's also a tribute to, it's not, they're not saying we're bringing back the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. They're saying it's going to be evocative of that. So that gives them a lot of wiggle room. And it's interesting. So I'm wondering what people in the chat room have to say about the new Swiss Family, the Adventureland treehouse.
Well, Yvonne said she missed the original. And Christine said she likes it. A much better fit than Encanto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that...
Probably, yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think some people are excited that it's not based on a movie, but it, like they said, it might be tied into that TV show. And if they develop the Society of Explorers and Adventurers further, that might come into play. I'm not sure why they would take out Tarzan. I don't know if it was just a matter of maybe their agreement with the Burroughs estate was ending. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did. I mean, they had to do the movie, and I'm sure to do the treehouse, they had an agreement with the Edgar Rice Burroughs estate, and I don't know if that had a time limit on it, and maybe it did. So.
Yeah, true. We have a couple more comments. Bob T said he's ready to welcome the new Adventureland Treehouse family.
Yay!
Christine said she's wondering if there will be Magic Band Plus enhancements.
That's you would think they would do that. Why not? Here's their chance to do that.
Right.
Something brand new that's coming in as Magic Band Plus is being rolled out.
Right. Bob T was saying the Tarzan connection is a bit dated. Yeah. I don't think, there are some, you could say, well, so is Mr. Toad, but I think that this attraction, because Tarzan, it was popular for a little while, but I think that it's longevity, like lasting.
I think they missed the boat with. Yeah. They should have done a suspended coaster above Adventureland with. I know it's not it's kind of hard for Disney to agree to do that, but if you had a suspended coaster that kind of looked like Tarzan swinging through the vines or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But
like a dark ride, or
it'd be hard to theme that to Disney standards, though. But yeah.
True. Yeah. Well, I think it'll be a good addition. I'm excited that they're doing that. Yvonne said treehouse bungee jumping.
Yes, there you go. We're actually going to talk more extensively our thoughts about it in the bonus episode that you guys will be getting as our supporters. But in the meantime, I wanted to mention Laughing Place does have coverage, and they point out the spaces include the Mother's Music Den, the Young Son's Nature Room, the Daughter's Astronomer's Loft, an ingenious kitchen and dining room, and Father's Art Studio. Previously, rumors suggested the treehouse could take on an Encanto theme, although Disney has apparently decided to go another way. Meanwhile, the Swiss Family Treehouse at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World remains open. So, yeah.
Good. Very good. All right.
The other late-breaking news is that Disneyland's It's a Small World adds dolls in wheelchairs to the ride. And this was reported by Marla Jo Fisher at the Orange County Register. And as her report says, Disneyland's popular It's a Small World ride added 2 new animatronic dolls to its show on Friday. That's today, as we're recording this. And they both are using wheelchairs. The new additions were unveiled Friday, the first day of the Disneyland Christmas season. That's here now, folks, for those of you who've been eagerly anticipating it. And the special holiday overlay that's added annually to the boat ride through the world of singing children. This is the first time that Small World dolls have been shown in wheelchairs, which were designed by several groups in collaboration, including an employee group that advocates for disabled employees and visitors. Let's see, further down it says It's a Small World was first redecorated for the 1997 Christmas season with special lighting and decorations. It features the dolls dancing and singing Christmas songs, as well as the iconic Small World theme song, which has become an earworm for generations. It is fully accessible for wheelchair users, with 2 boats specially outfitted for their use. I think that's great. I don't know anyone who would say that this was a bad move. I think this is a great move. I think there'll be kids who ride the attraction who will get excited when they see that.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah. We have a couple comments here. Vaughn was saying the Small World news is awesome. Bob T, is there a way to get a wheelchair-bound guest into the boats?
They have 2 specially fitted boats that they can actually wheel the wheelchair onto the boat. It's one of the few attractions that can actually do that. So I think I first saw that at Walt Disney World, and then they did the same thing out here. So yeah, they don't even have to transfer out of their wheelchair.
No, yeah, that's great.
So that's a great thing. If more attractions could do that, that would be awesome. But it's possible with It's a Small World, So, and they don't have to. It costs them money to do a change. Now, I suppose they could make it back by selling pins and popcorn buckets of the new dolls.
Plush.
Spin the wheel on the wheelchair and popcorn will come out the bottom of the bucket. No, but seriously, they could do a pin, and
that would be great.
And people would buy it.
Yeah.
People would buy it. So for Disney to actually take the time to do that it's not so simple. I mean, these things have to be designed and fabricated and installed, and it's not a simple overnight thing. So they put effort into it. Laughing Place covered that story as well, and so if you don't want to read the register, you can read the Laughing Place, as did, of course, MiceChat.com. And as they say, it hasn't been an easy ride for It's a Small World this year. Before the attraction shut down for the holiday installation, we rode the attraction and were shocked to see its state. In our Disneyland Blues section of a recent Disneyland update, we detailed the poor conditions of Small World. Between an abundance of broken or missing figures, abysmal lighting conditions, and general maintenance issues, we pointed out that Small World was well overdue for an extensive refurbishment. However, after riding through the attraction today, we are thrilled to announce that Disney has taken its criticism to heart, and the attraction is looking stellar. So I guess they were just kind of waiting for the downtime as opposed to doing stuff at night, and I'm glad those things got resolved. And it's one of the attractions that has 2 downtimes a year for installing the holiday overlay and then removing the holiday overlay. So hopefully things are kept in good condition. And kudos to Disney for doing that. And speaking of the holiday overlays, do we have any more comments from the chat room that we want to bring in?
No.
Okay.
Pretty quiet.
All right. They're mesmerized by my regaling them with the latest news. All right. Jennifer Tanaka reports at the Orange County Register. They have a story with the headline, "How Disneyland Decorates for the Resort." Or decorates the resort for the holidays each year. And as they say, the Disneyland Resort's holiday season kicks off Friday, November 11th, so it's underway. So Resort Enhancement Area Manager Dawn Pipal-Keen, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and her team of 60 cast members are busy this week transforming the parks. This year is her 25th year decorating the Anaheim parks. She and her team also decorate Aulani, a Disney resort and spa in Hawaii. Among their seasonal duties are assembling the 60-foot tall Christmas tree on Main Street at Disneyland and the 50-foot tall holiday tree on Buena Vista Street inside DCA. For Cars Land, her resort enhancement team collaborated with Pixar to transform the area and two attractions, Luigi's Joy to the Whirl and Mater's Jingle Jamboree for the holidays. Though decorations come down in January, the planning process for the holidays starts in February. There is a devoted team called Holiday Services within the enhancement group, she says. Literally, that's what they do all year long. They're rehabbing garlands and trees, fixing the lights and changing the ornaments. It's a year-long process. So basically, it's like a I'm getting all choked up. It's like a Tim Burton production, for Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like a year-long holiday thing. Yes. Any comments related to this, Lynn?
No.
No. We are still recording, right?
No. Christine said she can't wait to see the holiday overlay this year. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Nobody can give me a longer break so that I could drink some water?
No.
All right.
We are moving along here.
I'm drinking water in the middle of this now. I'll never get anywhere in my political career. Okay. Pardon me. They do some Q&A in the story, and they say, how many cast members does it take to transform the parks? And she says, we have 60 cast members for the, on the enhancement team, and not all that is for the holiday. The broad swath of what we do is we also maintain all the props and set decor for the window displays and in all of the attractions. We do tables, chairs, awnings, umbrellas, shade control. Holiday is just a piece of that. The window display artists will bring seasonality to all of the windows in the resort. So it's not just Christmas, it's seasonal. It's winter and it's Christmas. Then we go into spring with our Easter celebrations, and then we have summer with red, white, and blue nods, and then we have fall with Halloween. So there's constant changes throughout the year. That sounds like a fun job, really.
Yeah, it really does.
I know it's hard work, but if you like decorating, think about that. The Haunted Mansion and Small World are performed by the Entertainment Division. So we don't have a part in those two attraction overlays, but everything, the exteriors, everything in the lands, all that supporting material, that's us. And the next question was, how long does it take to decorate the Disneyland Resort? I think we're doing our job if people are assuming we do it overnight, because that's what we want it to look like. But in reality, it's about 3 to 4 weeks. So we have our Halloween installation. And even before Halloween comes out, we start going in with crews to put in Christmas lighting in the trees throughout the resort. But you wouldn't know it because we don't turn them on. The reality is that come November 1st, then we're coming in with, and then and we're installing those big iconic pieces of Christmas decor. So that's pretty, the stealth installations, So yes, it's the holiday time at the resort. I'm sure our Patreon supporters and the rest of our listeners are thrilled that it's that time of year again.
Oh yeah, I am.
Most wonderful time. Yeah, I mean, you're going to go check it out?
Yeah, we have 2 comments here by the same person. Yvonne, Disney Plus has a good show in the holiday decorating. Don't know the name of it. Yeah, I don't know the exact name either, but it's talking about, it's kind of a behind the scenes thing of the holiday decorating. They kind of talk a lot about the Haunted Mansion holiday also. She said it's called Decorating Disney Holiday Magic. There you go.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, here's a story from Laughing Place. Disneyland testing out new mobile merchandise ordering. Yes, guests can now use the Disneyland app to mobile order select pieces of merchandise throughout the parks and the downtown Disney district and pick it up at any of these 3 locations. Left of City Hall on Main Street, USA at Disneyland Park, Elias and Company at DCA, World of Disney at Downtown Disney. And some examples of merchandise that can be ordered include Disneyland Castle playsets, select board games like Disney Parks Life, and Disney Parks Uno, select Christmas ornaments, and some goods, and even legacy lightsabers for Luke Skywalker, Mace Windu, and Darth Vader. To use the service, guests at the Disneyland Resort must select a pickup location and choose their pickup arrival window. Both valid park admission and park reservation for the same day and the same park are required for park entry to pick up their order from a park location. From there, guests can browse and select from the list of merchandise and then add items they'd like to purchase to their cart. After they've reviewed their details, they can then pay for their order using a Disney gift card, Disney Rewards redemption card, Apple Pay, or a stored payment method. Then guests will receive a notification from the Disneyland app when their order is ready. Once within their arrival time, they'll tap the Prepare My Order button in the app. Discounts will be applied through the app. A Disney account is required for eligible Disney Visa card members, Disneyland Resort Magic Key holders, Disney Vacation Club members. If a guest is a Disneyland Resort Magic Key holder and or Disney Vacation Club member, the discount will automatically be applied to the total. Just make sure that your pass or membership is linked to your Disney account. To receive a Disney Visa card member discount, guests must pay with their Disney Visa card and or their Disney Rewards redemption card to qualify for the discount. It makes sense. I remember back in the day they had package pickup where they would just take your packages to the front of the park for you so that when you were leaving you could get them. Or, if you were staying in one of the Disney resort hotels, they could deliver it to your room. I mean, it makes sense that, you don't, what Disney doesn't want is they don't want somebody going, I would buy that, but I don't want to have to carry it around. So, and I think the day's coming where you can order stuff, you can just walk through the stores, say, I want that, and it'll be delivered to your home, or some other designated location. Maybe, there's all these services now have lockers, at various locations, at UPS stores or even 7-Elevens where you can pick up stuff that's been delivered to the lot,
And even at the end of the night when the Emporium or some of the shops on Main Street are really crowded, this might be an option if you thought ahead, also.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's certain things you're going to want right away. Like you're buying mouse ears that you want to wear in the park. Of course, that's stuff you want right away, or maybe a new shirt that you want. But there's other stuff you don't want to carry it around. So
exactly.
So yeah, I think that's great. Does any of the Patreon supporters want to comment on that, or anything else that's been going on?
Christine said she doesn't want to use it, but it sounds like a good idea. So,
I mean, all these things are going to require that, the companies are all trying to get your data. They want as much information on you as possible, so it makes it, they think we can better sell to you,
target
the more we know about you, so
to target their audience or their customers. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So, well, speaking of merchandise, MiceChat.com has an updated Disneyland holiday merchandise guide for 2022. Natalie Kipper has that, so we'll have a link to that. They do also have, Nathan Villamore has Seasons Eatings, the complete Disneyland and Festival of Holidays food guide for 2022. And if that's not enough, Dusty Sage has Disneyland Holidays Begin Here, your guide to 2022 holiday magic. So, if you need to know the details of what's happening there for the holidays, they got you covered there. They also have their standard updates. There was one from Liliana Parker back on October 31st called Disneyland Update, The Real Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'll explain, because it says, the man in the red suit is coming, and that means out with the spooky and in with the holiday cheer. Starting tomorrow, happy Halloween, Mice Chat readers, and welcome to the spookiest update of the year. Today we'll have a look at the demise of Halloween, holiday creep, magic bands, crowds, and some exciting progress for Toontown. We are also scratching our heads over some statements made by Disney's CEO that we're not sure you'll agree with. And then so later on they say in the update, the problem is that Disneyland often feels more crowded than it ever has. That's not to say that crowding is even the biggest issue. This column reports on quality issues on a regular basis. Indiana Jones Adventure shouldn't even be allowed to operate under such poor show conditions. And while rides have always broken down, they seem to be doing so more frequently and in greater numbers in recent months. Guests have trouble finding food at the last minute if they don't mobile order in advance, and may not find easy seating even if they do manage to buy food at busy times. And then later on it says, I hope that protecting the guest experience is indeed Disney's long-term strategy, because Disneyland memories should be magical ones for that last a lifetime. But sadly, many of the memories currently being made are of the negative sort. Crowds, ride failures, confusing technology, hyper-planning, and stressful encounters with guests and undertrained cast. Not at all the sort of things being told to shareholders. I don't think things have recovered from the lockdowns. Think of how many people, places like Disneyland lost a lot of institutional memory. A lot of cast members who were experienced, retired or quit or got jobs elsewhere. Whether they were in operations or maintenance. I imagine a lot of maintenance people were just like, you know what, I'm gonna go do, I'm gonna go maintain things for another company, and that has an effect. And staffing it all. I mean, even if you staff all the positions, you don't have the same experience that you had before. You don't have the same experience level with those cast members. So that's what they're dealing with. And hopefully it'll eventually, rather than later, get back to the way it was before. So I hope that our Patreon supporters and our listeners are still having great times on their visits. Can't ignore problems, though. I mean, there's always been, it hasn't always been perfect in every way. There's always something going on, but if it gets to a certain point where it really becomes noticeably less, then it's like, okay, come on, you're charging people a lot of money for this experience, and you should deliver.
Yeah, it's not like they're short on money. So
yeah, right. Dusty Sage had an update on November 7th called "A Storm is Brewing," and so they talked about kind of some of the weather issues that the park was facing over the next few days from the update. And Anaheim did get much needed rain, so that was good. But do you have any renovation updates?
I do.
Okay.
All right. Monsters Inc. Reopens November 19th.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that.
Oh yeah. And it's one of my favorites. Over at TCA. Indy's going down. So speaking of that, just for a couple of days though, like we were talking last time, I feel like that instead of having it go down for a long period of time, they're trying to get it in during the middle of the weeks, during these slow periods. So it will be down the 14th, and reopen again on the 17th.
All right.
So then Tarzan's Treehouse. We spoke a little bit about that. There's no exact date yet, but it did say in next year. So I'm assuming before spring, but you never know.
It would be interesting to have it like the same day or the day before, the day after Mickey's Runaway Railway. Because then they could get the media. By that I mean mainstream media. I don't mean theme park fan media. They could get them in there and show them both that, the treehouse and the and Mickey's Runaway Railway. I mean, that would to me that would seem ideal.
Oh yeah, sure. We have in Toontown we have Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Railway. January 27th, that'll be opening. I know that's something we talked about, but I'm going to add that to our refurb, our list now of reopenings. And then Toontown, in general, as a town, has no date yet on the whole land reopening, but I'm sure that will come soon. I don't know the progress on that, but I'm guessing at least before summer. So.
Yeah, that would be.
If not late springtime. So.
Yeah. Right.
All right, that's all I have there.
All right. Well, if there's any more comments from the group, we'd like to hear them. In the meantime, I will remind people that our magical vacation planning partners are concierge. That's CONCIEARS.com. Go to that website, CONCIEARS.com. That's the website for our magical vacation planning partners. They focus on Disney getaway vacations. So if you want to go to Disney World, you want to go to Disney's Aulani in Hawaii, you want to go to Disneyland, Adventures by Disney, or the Disney Cruise Line, you want to go to concierge. I just sent my mother back to them again because she wanted to go to Walt Disney World. I beg her to take me, but she hasn't. No, I don't beg her, but so it's it's a good way to go because it's going to take a lot of stress off of your planning. They know what they're doing. This is what they focus on. Disney is their specialty. And, heck, if you want to visit Universal while you're out in Walt Disney World, you want to go to Islands of Adventure, you want to go to the original Universal Park out there, you can. Concierge will help you with that too. So contact concierge.com. When you book with them, book a package, staying at the resorts and getting theme park tickets, or, going on a week-long cruise. You book a package with them, tell them that the Sweep Spot sent you, you get a nice gift, and that's the way to go. I would not plan another Disney vacation without them. It doesn't add any cost to your vacation. It just makes things a whole lot easier. So thank you to them. Any parting words from our Patreons in the chat room?
When will this end? No, just kidding. I'm joking. No one said that. Patrick says a financial analyst called for the replacement of Bob Chapek due to the poor Disney performance in the third quarter.
Yes, that was very interesting. We'll have to see what happens. Every CEO is a package. There's things you're going to like, things you don't like. It's going to really, it depends on what the investors are saying, because that is the CEO's prime. It's not to know all the little trivia about which movies came out in what year. I mean, it's nice if they know that, but the company is so huge at this point. The CEO's job is to keep shareholders happy and to lead the divisional executives. So that's their main thing. If they make good impressions on Disney fans, that's a bonus.
Right.
That's not their primary job. And I think Chapek has been getting better at that sort of thing. I think more people are warming up to him, but if the investors turn sour on him, then he'll be gone. But we'll see. He could be sticking around for a long time, for all we know.
Who knows? We'll find out, though. All right. Well,
I wanted to remind people. We're doing this every week now. We have the current events every other week, and then the weeks we're not doing the current events, we have our main topic episode. So last time we had Kurt Curtis, who was a Disneyland music performer and leader. And we're going to have another main topic episode coming up in a week. So if you're subscribed to us, then you won't miss any of these episodes.
No. Sounds good. Thank you to everyone that showed up, and thank you for those of you listening. Really appreciate it, and we'll talk with you next time.